From WBZ Sports, this is Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria.
I love those graphics. Welcome, everyone, to week 2 of Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. Ernie Adams, Christian Fauria alongside. This may not look like a football show, but you know what? Don't go by looks, folks. Do not go by looks. Did you get reaction from the week 1 show?
Of course, I only talked to my friends who all thought it was great. Hopefully, the more critical audience will.
What about your players? What about the high school players that you coach? What did they think?
They loved it.
Okay. Did they think they captured your
friends
image of you?
They're friends too.
They like you as a Muppet?
They thought it looks like me.
Yeah, of course they did.
Christian, what about reaction from the show?
Listen, we're doing something unique, special, with one of the brightest, smartest guys in the business that nobody knows about, and we have him.
We do have them.
Yeah.
And we're going to take advantage of them.
Oh, yeah.
While you're the guy in the middle. So let's go back to last Sunday's game.
Yes.
What happened? What happened? And I want to just start with energy. Where was the energy on this football team?
Just sitting in my living room watching the game on TV, it looked like a mediocre team in their second preseason game. And that's I think right now, that's basically where they are. So you've got 4 months playing football. You've got to get better every day. It obviously wasn't good enough last week, but they've got a lot, I think, hard-working people. I know Mike will, know how to hopefully get the team to respond and move forward.
Is it wild for me to assume that issues, penalties, broken coverages, missed blocks, bad alignment, lining up wrong, is it wild to me to assume that should be taken care of by week 1?
Well, here's what I think is the real problem, Christian, is training camp is so limited. You only got so many practices and pads. They didn't really play the first-team players in preseason games. This looked like their second preseason game. This is really the first time they've put those guys on the field. Let's go play 60 minutes. And that's a real problem, particularly when you're a new coaching staff coming in. There's just not enough time to really get a team ready to go. And just as a comparison, take the Denver Broncos when Sean Payton went there. They lost the game their first month of the season. It was 70 to the Dolphins. It was 70 to 7. And by the end of the season, they were playing pretty well. The biggest thing that Mike has to do is convince the players we're not even close to being ready. We have to have a training camp mentality here where we're really learning how to play basic football before we're going to go anywhere. I know everybody around here wants to how many games they're going to win and go to the playoffs. The Jim Mora playoffs thing.
Playoffs?
Is very real.
Yeah.
But, like Bill Walsh used to say, play good football, the score takes care of itself. The focus needs to be on playing good football. Like right off the bat, you don't let slot receivers run up the seam on cover 3 and not reroute them. They throw them the ball for 20 yards. You run a play You run a play on short yardage up the middle. You got to block the middle linebacker.
Too many big plays. Too many big plays against the defense.
Well,
correct.
That was one issue.
And I don't want to blame the whole game on the defense because the defense held them 20 points.
20 points, but hey, you get a couple short yardage runs. You don't pick it up. I mean, there was through the whole football team. There was just too much bad football.
Well, and that is usually that's an execution thing. That's an X's and O's thing.
Okay.
And I don't know. Hold on. But I don't know. If other teams listen. Thank God we're not the Dolphins, who is the next opponent, because that's a problem. I don't think the Patriots are there, but I would just assume that the basic stuff, unless you're a really young, inexperienced team with the new staff, which maybe this is kind of, I'm leading into your opinion here, that this is kind of should be expected.
Okay, you said the key word. Okay, what was Bill Parcells' rule number 1 for coaching a football team?
I never was coached by him. I would say, don't screw it up.
Assume nothing. You said you assume. Yeah. Do not assume anything.
Assume nothing.
Yeah, that's right. For good reason did he say that. You've got to go out on the field. They don't have enough practice time, but the practice stuff, it really works. You get better on the practice field, and they have not had enough time to do that. The guys haven't really played in the preseason games, and so this is what it looks like. Steve Young said something a few years ago that really hit home with me. The way training camp goes now, he said, September is the new preseason. Get over it.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Well,
and these games count.
So Christmas is the new Thanksgiving?
Let's not go there.
Well, I mean, listen,
on,
it used to be Thanksgiving when you knew what you had. Now it feels like it's you're going to add another game.
But it sounds like to me those are excuses.
Particularly, I would say, we always said, for the teams that are really championship caliber, and usually that by the end of the season there'll be, half a dozen teams that say, now this team really has a chance. And we always said, real football season starts at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Those are for championship caliber teams. The Patriots are not there now. Where they are, they need to learn how to go out and play consistent, good football. When they do that, then you can start worrying about how many games you win.
Let's go to the trenches, shall we? The offensive line, Will Campbell in particular. How do you think he played?
Looked to me like he had a pretty good game. He got, the one, the strip sack. He got forklifted. Well, that's what the move is. They come right up under your armpits.
That's what they call forklifted?
Yeah, that's right.
You thought he had a good game?
Overall, yeah. He did a lot of things I liked. But again, he hasn't been out there playing against good players for 60 minutes. Mm-hmm. This is a learning experience for him. It's not like he's in any way, shape, or form battle-tested in training camp. He's not.
This is giving me a popsicle headache, but I'm going to ask you. Christian Gonzalez, he's been out a while. He's their best player. How much longer? Does this aggravate the coaches, I guess is what I'm asking.
Sure. It's not because you're playing games on Sunday and you want your good players playing. On the other
Especially
hand,
your best player.
Your best player. But, you have a medical condition. You can't, you can't just go push him and you'll hurt. What you don't want to do is have him go out there and aggravate the hamstring and miss the whole season.
Right.
And you know what? I think actually Jim Whalen, the trainer at the Patriots, I love Jim. I think he does a great job. But it's a hard condition to be in because, yes, you have a game Sunday. You want the player there, but you don't want him to go out and aggravate it worse.
And so you got to be patient with him,
especially with a hamstring. It's the most unpredictable injury you can have.
And he's not faking it, obviously. He wants to play.
When you feel great, this is what I've been told, and I've torn them. Doctors, specialists, when you feel great and you can run like the wind, you're Forrest Gump out there.
Yeah.
Take another week. That's how temperamental and unpredictable a hamstring is. George Kittle just got one. They say he's gonna be out 5 weeks. It's probably gonna be more like 8. Because and he plays a high-level position like corner where he's constantly changing directions and changing speeds and tackling in space. No, it's worth it for you to make sure and let him miss 4 games instead of ruin his entire season.
All right, we got to take a break.
Okay.
We got to
save it.
I know you
save it, Ernie.
Save it.
Okay.
Save it. Yeah. Please save it.
Take a mental note.
All right, we are going to take a break indeed, but when we come back, we head to the whiteboard with Coach Ernie and Christian. Welcome back, everyone. Burton Ernie talk football with Fauria. We're here at the whiteboard, but Ernie, before we even get to the whiteboard, you talk about Randy Moss and hamstrings.
Randy Moss and hamstrings. So, of course, we traded for him before the 2007 season, which he proceeded to absolutely light it up, have a great year.
Yeah.
But in training camp, we knew he had an issue with tight hamstrings, so he did not practice during training camp. He spent every day with the rehab staff.
Didn't practice at all in training.
Didn't practice at all because it was going to be, if he went out to practice, he'd just pull it. So that, which would make no sense. First, get the player healthy, and then, of course, he came out healthy and had a great season. But if you try to just fight your way through on a hamstring,
good point.
you really pull it and you're going to miss the whole season.
Which is why Christian Gonzalez has been patient.
That's what we said. Wait.
That's exactly right.
And nobody likes it. I don't know Christian Gonzalez. I'm sure he wants to play. I know
he wants to play.
Mike Vrabel wants to play. Everybody wants him to play. But there's, sometimes medically it just takes a little time.
I got the stick. Let's get to the whiteboard. Drake May. Let's talk about issues and the issues that he has.
Well, so last week, of course, we talked about seeing the safeties and quarterbacks. Pre-snap. Well, post-snap, too. When the ball is snapped, you got to see where they're going.
Right.
So I'm going to a play which they ran late. It was 2nd down 7. Late third quarter. They're in this formation. 3 receivers over to the left. Tight end split. It's Henry split out on the backside, and they ran a basic concept over here front side, which Josh always called this hook. A lot of teams in the NFL call that a stick. They had an in cut on the backside. And this Gibson looked like he had some kind of option route in there. Break it out or hook up. the Raiders' defense. So they're essentially a four. This goes back a little bit to 1970s football, when everybody in 1970, everybody in the National Football League played 4-3. Period.
4-3.
There was no nickel. There were no blitz.
4 down linemen, 3 linebackers.
3 linebackers.
Yep.
And what they did here was what we call a loaded zone. So they came down here, strong side, and all the backers went strong as well.
Right.
Well, as soon as you see that safety's going this way, backers going that way, you know, hey, they're all going left. I've got one-on-ones over here on the right, which is just what happened with Hunter Henry. Wide open. As soon as the play's over, the replay went right to Hunter Henry. It's as open as you get.
He's wide open.
He's got a corner on him, right?
Yeah, and you've got
everybody going one way.
But Drake, he's looking over here, nobody there. He ends up scrambling, throwing to Gibson, who catches it with a foot out of bounds, so it's an incomplete pass. But just drop back, see them all going left, go right, hit the tight end right there. So this is the kind of thing. I know, people. It's not fair to compare Drake to Tom Brady, but this is the kind of decision making that Tom Brady and every other good NFL quarterback just does automatically. You see him going that way? Find the one-on-one. It's a lot easier finding the one-on-one than throwing into a lot of
listen
traffic.
to that pen real quick. All right, so let's say if I just did this. If I gave you a coaching point, I said, hey, Drake, just consider this 2 halves of the football field, right? Here's your left side, pre-snap, post-snap. You see them all going that way.
Go the other way?
Is it as simple as literally just go the other way?
They go left, you go right?
Yeah.
Basically, they go left, we go right. Steve, if they all go right, where are you going?
If they go right?
If they all go right.
I'm going left.
Hey, that's
that simple?
It's a great coaching
That's
point.
what a Northwestern University education will get you.
True. Yeah, it's like
What does the Colorado education get you?
Listen, I'm here with you, so I must do something right. So let me break this down for you real quickly. In college, right, we see a lot of college kids, pre-draft evaluators. This guy only reads one side of the field. He only reads half the field. So in the pros, listen, that's just not. It's not sustainable for long-term success. You have to be able to adjust quickly, right?
Hey, there are sometimes you may have like a quick screen of the receivers out to the left. You're going left.
Yeah.
But in something like this, you got to see what the defense is playing, the whole field. And I think for a lot of college kids, it's a little more teaching. They don't get into it. Nobody in college football really runs an NFL pass offense. The closest team I ever saw do it, and say in the last 10 years, was LSU when they won the national championship with Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So they also got Brady in there from the Saints. They were running. They
had pro wide receivers and backs.
But they were running an NFL system, and they shredded people. And that's
so. Let me ask you this: when Drake May was off in his passes, is that footwork? Is that technique, or is it nerves?
Oh, there's probably a degree of all of it. Now
a combination of all.
He had some plays like a couple play action, drop back 20-yard curl, throw it right in there. Look great, just like you want to do it.
He was on the money.
He was on the money, and he knew just where he's going. Biggest issue a play like this is you got to know where you're going, and you got to see the defense. And this is like I say. I'm thinking specifically of a guy like Tom, or like Peyton Manning. They see the defense. They know, hey, this is where I'm going.
They know what ahead is.
They know where I'm going.
Isn't this relatively easy?
You know what? Okay, but the problem is there's war daddies coming right at you.
Okay, war daddies.
Okay.
There's war daddies.
You got war daddies too.
Yeah, right.
You got some counterattack.
These are big, fast guys, and the contact is intense, and you don't have all day back here. You got to see it and do it.
I'm your war daddy.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, all right. Okay, because I think a lot of people will see this and say, this is big deal. He's a pro quarterback. He should be able to see it right away.
You know what? Actually playing this game is hard.
Yeah.
Right? You know it better than anybody, and you got to be able to make the decisions.
I have to go to break.
I
want to know. No, hold on. We got to go to break. But I want to see forklift. What's a forklift?
Are you forking me?
No, the forklift. The forklift move is you come in, and I think Will Campbell got hurt with this. Because they're right up here under the armpit. Just lift it up and go.
Oh, okay.
And move them somewhere.
Then you went around. Okay. Wow.
We got more whiteboard reaction coming up. Stay with us. Welcome back to Burton Ernie Talk Football with Fauria, back here at the whiteboard, and we're talking defenses and we're talking blitzes. But before we even get into that, I kept hearing in our postgame show, X-plays. X-plays. Tell people what X-plays mean. That's the first I heard of it.
I had never heard the term either, but as
I don't feel so bad.
as I listened to people talk, it became clear to me this is an abbreviation for explosive plays, which means so offensively you would say any pass play over 20 yards is an explosive play.
Explosive play.
Any run over 15 yards is an explosive play. It's hard to win football games, particularly in the NFL, just 3 yards and grind it out.
Right.
You need some big plays.
X-plays.
You know how many the Raiders had?
9.
Yeah,
9 X-plays.
Probably too many, right, Ernie?
Right.
That's
Way too many.
Yeah.
Show us some blitzes.
Okay, so
what's happening?
What happens here on defense, and Christian was talking about how tough it was playing against the old Dolphins with Jason Taylor. They put tremendous pressure on with 4 people rushing.
4, yeah.
Which leaves us 7 people in coverage. So you can you can have 2 safeties back here. It's a lot tougher for a quarterback throwing in the 7. But what happens is if you're not getting enough pressure, if the quarterback can sit
all
back,
day to throw the ball.
I can look and look and look. That's a problem.
Because somebody's going to get open eventually.
Somebody's going to get open. So then, what you have to do is, I think, adding someone into the rush. So, for instance, you're a nickel here, and you may put this hand inside, bring the safety. Now the backer has the tight end, corners are on the outside receivers, nickels here, and you have a free safety in the middle. And my Mike backer's got the back. So we've got everybody covered with a free safety, but they're one-on-one.
But now the quarterback's under more pressure. Because
he's under more, right. So it's the trade-off, the pressure versus what you're giving up in coverage.
So now you're bringing the end inside and you're bringing an outside blitzer, and explain the benefit of how this works best for a defense as far as disguising it.
Well, you can start off back, safety back deep, trying to look
when
like
he starts creeping up, if I'm the quarterback, I'm like, something's up.
Something's up. Like I said, you can disguise it and hide. There's usually somewhere there's a little bit of a tip off, but it's happening fast, and you don't have all day to recognize this. You just got to see the safety coming, where the backer's moving. It's all got to go together for you. And if you're a good quarterback, it says, I got pressure here. If you don't really know what you're looking at, you may get hit in the ear hole without knowing about it. So they get into. So with the Patriots, they had some pressure on the quarterback. I would say it looked like most of it was coming when they were bringing 5.
Right.
But the issue you have here is, for instance, the play that they hit the tight end, Bowers, the little short pass.
Yeah. And he turned it into a monster play.
He turned it into a monster play.
Right. Across the middle, over the middle. Bowers over the middle.
But he was manned, so they were manned up
they
here.
Picked him.
They picked him.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah,
they rubbed him.
They rubbed. Pick's illegal.
Pick's illegal.
Pick's illegal. Rub is perfect. But you come at the man and you make him freeze.
Right.
And Bowers comes underneath and he catches and you're blitzing. There's nobody in there. There's nobody home. So now you got to go.
And if you do this right, then you have a lot of run after catch opportunities.
This is a 5-yard pass that turns into a 30-yard play.
Yeah. And the War Daddies couldn't catch it.
The War Daddies weren't quick enough. They weren't War Daddying enough.
So, but this is what I know is a defense. Okay, I'm bringing 5.
Right.
This is what I'm giving up.
So as a quarterback, what would you rather have? More guys to throw into, 7 guys out there? Right, with 4 guys rushing?
Or would you rather take advantage of the man-to-man on a blitz?
I'd rather take, but this is where you also have to be, your offensive team has to be really good picking up the blitz. You really got to know what you're doing. This is where all the mic points are important. When those mic points on a pass, the quarterback is directing the protection which way to go. I see pressure coming over here. I might point the mic over here, get my line going that way.
Next week, we're going to talk about hot routes.
Okay.
Who's hot? We won't do that right now because in an offense, you got a hot receiver, especially during a blitz, right?
That's when you have a hot receiver.
Yeah.
Because they can bring if they're bringing 7 and you have 6 blockers.
You gotta know who's hot.
Somebody's unblocked.
Yeah, know who's hot. Don't give it away now.
What if you do this? I'm going to use red. What if your back's over here and then And what if he does this thing, a little wheel route?
Right.
Whose responsibility is that guy?
You know, it's going to be this. You know,
Does he have to go over to the other side?
He may have to. He may have to go in and out with the backer that's over there.
Normally a linebacker can't stay with a back.
You know,
If you see that, are you freaking out? If you're a linebacker, like, holy crap, I got this back out of the backfield by myself.
I got a cover.
Yeah, I'm like, there's so much space.
You know what? It's what the defense is you play it.
Yeah.
You know, you can't. I mean, you've hopefully worked on it in practice. You know what you're doing. The coach knows what he's doing, calling it at the right time. And if all else fails, you hope the pass rush gets there.
The War Daddies.
War Daddies.
War Daddies got to get home.
This is inherently a messy game. It's not figure skating. There's no style points. You know, you're just going with it.
All right.
Against Miami, they're going to have to keep Tua from running.
Yep.
Right? Now, he doesn't want to run as much because he's got concussions, but here's a guy that can get out of the pocket and can hurt you a little bit.
Right. So if you're bringing 4, you know, your ends they're trying to get home to the quarterback, but they are the contained rushers. If you're an end coming up and you're the contained rusher on the tackle, you can't go sticking your nose in there because the quarterback's going that way, and it's
especially
a problem.
a guy like Tua.
Tua, yeah.
All right. Speaking of Tua,
Wow.
I'm going to Tua you. We'll be back with more of the show right after this. There he is. Love those graphics. All right, they got to go to Miami. Ernie, Christian, Miami's a mess. What do they do down in Miami?
The most important thing for the New England Patriots to do in Miami is do a better job executing basic football. Because until they get to the point where they can do that, they really have no chance.
So back to ground zero, back to the beginning. Let's just master the basic stuff first, which I think that's what Miami needs to do also. I will throw this out there. Sometimes I didn't think it was real, but once I finally started playing for the Patriots, playing in Miami is a nightmare. It's hot, it's humid, we're not used to it. It is an adjustment. So starting fast is important down there. It is important.
You're looking at the bright side.
No, the bright side. Here's the bright side for everybody who's doom and gloom. The bright side is last year there were 5 teams that made the playoffs. And those 5 teams also started 0-1. The Washington Commanders started 0-1. Okay. Just as an example. So I feel like somebody needs to paint a brighter picture.
Okay, there's one dark cloud.
He's going to be the dark cloud.
The one dark cloud is until we start executing basic football, all that stuff it's hype. All that stuff is not going to happen until we can go out and just play good, solid, basic football. Don't lose the game. Don't beat yourself.
There you go.
More War Daddies.
That's going to do it for this edition.
That always helps.
Ernie Talk Football with Fauria. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget, we are on every Tuesday night right here on TV at 38 at 9 o'clock. And you can find us streaming on CBS News Boston and on our YouTube channel as well. For Ernie Adams and Christopher Fauria, I'm Steve Burton. We'll see you back here next week. Love the graphics.